back, it's Shelby, and today we are going to be making the cutest little bird's nest clock. I was walking around the craft store and I started seeing all these things and I was just like, oh my god, I could totally make an adorable clock out of that. And it's not something I've really seen before, so I thought that would be cute. So here's what I found. It's like, I think a little decorative bowl, but it's made out of like wreathing material, so like the grapevine leaves, and then it's held together with some brown wire. And these are really cheap and they're not completely flat, but it's not too much of a curve, so I think it's gonna be okay. This black and yellow little birdie, which is so cute, and it's got little wire to kind of attach to. Some eggs left over from my Easter craft. If you haven't seen that, I'll link it above. It's a little late in the year for it, but yeah, that's where these are from. I'm actually going to speckle these because they're all white, and I'm going to be doing that with just crayons because just, you know, brown wax, it'll stay, it's not touching anything, it'll be fine. And then a clock making kit. These are relatively inexpensive, like $10 depending on where you buy them, but they come with the little hands and then the clock, and then you just pop the battery in and stick it on the back, and there's instructions on the back for how to do it. So yeah, that's basically everything we're going to need and use, plus some hot glue. And I will link everything you need down in the description below if you want to make your own project like this. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you like it. Consider subscribing, and let's get going. So first off, I'm going to speckle my eggs. They are completely white, nothing on them. There's a little hole in the bottom from where I ripped the cord out, but that's about it. And I'm taking a brown crayon. I have a couple different browns because I have like a whole set of crayons. This one is raw sienna, in case you want to know. And like, I'm literally just kind of stamping it and pulling it down just to create, oh really? Come on. I'll do it a little bit heavier so the camera can see. Just to create a little mark. See if I can get it to focus. Yeah, just like a little mark. So yeah, just gonna be doing that and making some speckled marks on my eggs. Not real uniform or anything. Whoops, that one got a little bit turned into a line instead of a speckle, but that's okay. Eggs aren't perfectly white usually, especially not like little bird eggs. And I couldn't tell you what type of bird this is, so I can't properly make the right type of eggs. And also, I mean, size-wise, yeah, no, it's not perfectly correct, but it'll still be cute, so I'm not too worried about it. And actually what I might do is like make some of the eggs brown and then some of them other colors. So I'm grabbing a different brown. This one is burnt sienna, lots of siennas, and it looks pretty similar on here. It's a little bit more red. But then I think I'm gonna grab like some lavender purple. What's this? Purple Mountain's Majesty. Okay, that's quite a name. So we will put in a little bit of purple. Oh, I like how that looks actually. We're gonna put in a lot of purple. I don't know why, but it actually looks pretty natural next to the brown. I went crazy with my dots. Like, there are a lot of them on here. There we go. So yeah, just kind of go nuts with however you want your eggs speckled, and get as many eggs as you want done. My thing isn't huge, so I'm thinking like 4 eggs, like 3 or 4, just because like you don't want the whole thing covered, or maybe you do, I don't know. But just speckle up as many eggs as you want and then start pulling off all the tags of everything, and that'll be our next step. Okay, so my eggs are all done. I made them all a little bit different. Let me get those zoomed in. I have the worst trouble with lighting sometimes, sorry about that. All right, so this one is kind of blue and green and pink, and then this one is just kind of red and yellow. It's pretty light. This one I did red and then scribbled a lot of yellow all over it, and this one is the one you saw me do, which is just the browns and the purple. So they all look kind of different, but since they all, I put yellow across the top of all of them, they all kind of look like they belong sort of to each other. So these I'm gonna set off to the side, and I'm going to start with my little birdie while my heat glue gun is heating up. He's got a little wire thing, like a little stick down there, so I should be able just to attach him how I want. So basically, I'm just gonna look at this and figure out where I want my top to be. And I think I want it to be this way. So I'm just gonna find a little wire here, tuck this wire underneath, and then wrap it around so that he is nice and secure, and then just tuck it. See how he's just kind of like chilling now? So he's wrapped around, he's secure, but he's got this wire sticking out, so I'm just gonna tuck that in to the vines. And now he's like that, and I'm just gonna adjust him up until he is sitting on top where I want him to sit. And then just secure him with the wire. Here we go, it's very bendy. Just kind of work it around till you get what you want. So how cute is that? He's gonna be our 12 o'clock. So it's just little birdie sitting on top of the nest for the 12. And then it's time to glue on the eggs. I'm gonna put the eggs down below, kind of like our 6 o'clock or 6 number. So I have 4 of them, and I think my glue gun is heated up enough. Yes. So basically I'm just gonna find what side I want, put a dollop of glue on the other side, and working quickly, just glue it on, just like that. So we will get some more eggs on here. This one is the green and blue and purple. Put that right next to it. And then you gotta hold it and make sure you wait until the hot glue dries, or else it's just gonna fall off and you'll have a boiling hot mess. And do I want this one? This one actually should have been the center one. Okay, I'm gonna rip this off and just hope it doesn't, oh yeah, that came off fine. It's one of the things about hot glue, is like it's fixable. Just pull it off. And it's not completely dry yet, so that helps. Okay. So this one's actually gonna be the center one because it's cuter, and I decided that's a better look for it that I want. There we go, so a fair amount of hot glue on there, and right in the center. Plus I like how the yellow plays off the yellow in the bird. I think that makes more sense visually. There we go. Yep. Then this one can go back on, but off to the side. Still in a place of honor, but just not so much. Okay, so my clock face is done. It's so cute. I've got my little bird up at noon or 12 and my little eggs down at 6 p.m. So I'm not actually doing like a clock face with numbers. These, you know, my bird, my eggs, those are my 12 and my 6. So that is how I'm going to keep track of it. I've disassembled my clock kit, pulled everything kind of off it. So this comes with instructions and a diagram on the bottom, and honestly, at least for me, the diagram is way more helpful than the instructions. So basically what you would do is slide it through the wood with the hole in it that you decorate to make a clock. Because I'm using this, I chose the clock kit with very small hands, because if they were really long, they would get caught up on the edge here because it is curved. So I needed my clock to operate just in like the bowl of the wicker, where it's like pretty flat and not super concave. So yeah, you can also kind of flatten it out a little bit, but these were meant to be used on flat boards, so they do need a little bit of help. And also to attach it, just to make sure it's got a nice fit, I'm going to be running some hot glue just around the edges, nowhere near where anything spins, but just to kind of like secure it a little bit better to the basket. So mainly just like the corners, and I'm hoping the heat of this doesn't like hurt the clock at all. But yeah, just to secure it a little bit, make it a little bit more secure actually. So we will do that, not a whole ton, and hopefully not anything that will actually hurt the clock. So there we go. And I'm just going to be pushing it through the hole down here and firmly kind of holding it with my thumbs until the glue dries a little bit. And it's okay that I'm smushing this flat a little bit because that's actually gonna help the clock. So there we go. Not sure if it's dry yet. We will wait for it to dry and then we will assemble the clock. Okay, that looks pretty good. It's holding itself up. Now it's just kind of poking through the, I gotta figure out what to call these vines, I guess. So I'm going to be putting on the washer to hold it in place. This little washer, just kind of basically go back together. When the clock comes, it's all assembled. So basically you're just reassembling it with your clock face in between. So I'm gonna put that on there and push it down. My little wire basket bowl thing is not much thicker than the actual wood with the hole drilled in that you're supposed to use, so I'm thinking it'll work just fine. But I do apparently need to push it a little bit, so we will do that and just kind of push it down into place until we can get the part with the ribbing helical thing on there to screw the washer on. To help me with that, because my fingers aren't that delicate, my little multi-purpose tool. So basically I'm just going to put this on and use my pliers to screw it on. Sorry, I can't do that in camera. I need like 4 hands to do this. Just putting it on, down, and then there we go. I'm not sure how tightly I'm supposed to be screwing it down, but I went for really very tight. So just a little rubber washer, little brass washer, and then the little hexagonal nut right there. So now we can start putting on the hands of our clock. So you have your hour hand and you put it up at the 12 a.m. mark, so pointing up towards the bird. Next up, the minute hand facing 12. This one has kind of an oval opening, so you have to make sure you get it on there correctly and that the gold side is facing out. Put that also up at the 12 mark, so up towards the bird. And then next we screw on the open nut, which was this little guy at the end. Just a very delicate little process. There we go, make sure that's pointing up towards noon. And then just push on the second hand. It's got a little rod that goes in the hole and you just push. Rotate time set for correct dial. Let's see, it's about 12:25. So, oh, my second hand's moving, but nothing else is. That's, all right, I'm gonna have to move. I feel like you should have rotated the minute hand to the correct thing, because right now my second hand is moving and I'm gonna have to like rotate it without bugging it. So we're just gonna wait for it to get all the way around. Yeah, kind of about there. So here is how it turned out. What do you guys think? I think it's super cute. It's like a little bird and its nest, and it's a clock, and that's adorable. And it's got the super cute little speckled eggs and the little mama bird watching out over her little baby eggs. So I think this is a really cute kind of garden inspired decor piece. If you guys like it, let me know by hitting that thumbs up button. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I love hearing from you guys. Consider subscribing if you want to see more kind of crafts like this, and whatever else I post on my channel. I'd love to see you here again soon. Thanks so much for watching, and bye for now.